Hello, gentlemen. Thank you guys for joining me today for a little Q&A session. We are doing a Q&A here with Brandon and Scott. Brandon has recently joined our team as one of our load planners, and Scott has joined our team as the training program recruiter. Both of you have kind of started in recent months and been thrown in kind of to the wolves, as in we had to quickly learn how to do our jobs remotely. Going to talk about a little bit of that, but I want to start by just having you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves, what you like to do, your family, where you live, that kind of stuff. Brandon, why don't you go first?
Okay. My name's Brandon. Live in Perry Township, between Massillon and Canton. My wife and I, we've been married 16 years, got 7 kids. We've had a blast during this stay at home, get to know each other a lot better, close quarters. We've enjoyed a lot of time outside during this time, really.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, our oldest kid is 14 and our youngest is 1 year old. So quite the range that we have. But that's all about us, family. So.
Now, with that many kids at home during quarantine, seems like there'd be like a distraction or two during the day, I would think.
I am quarantined to the basement in the corner. There's a couple disruptions every once in a while, but I'm pretty much able to put myself away behind a door. The kids try to get in every once in a while, but they know that I have certain conference calls every once in a while to stay out, and they can tell it's just better for dad at the end of the day if they stay away from me during the
day. That's funny. All right, Scott, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Scott. I'm 57. I've been married for 36 years, have 2 daughters. One is 30 and the other is 20. The youngest daughter, Rachel, lives at home. My oldest daughter, Katie, lives in Los Angeles, California. So we've been, just my wife and my youngest daughter and I have been here at home during the quarantine, and we've kind of had to put up with one another, I guess is a good way to put it. We're kind of all used to running our own directions and doing this, that, and the other thing, and we've spent a lot of time together, which is actually a really good thing. And we've done a lot of things together, a lot of things outside, just trying to keep ourselves occupied.
So what did you guys do before you started Mass Trucking? So Scott, I believe you've been here for about 2 months-ish, a little over.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do before you came to Mass Trucking, and then when did you start here with us?
I started here at Mass Trucking the 1st of March of this year. The vast majority of the time before I came to Mass Trucking, I worked in agricultural sales and service. And I spent 22 of those years working for a company called Cobus Select Sires, where I artificially inseminated dairy cattle all over Holmes and Tuscarawas County. So I'm very familiar with the area. I've been here for over 30 years, where we live now in Beach City. So I did that, and then I also worked at a dairy equipment supply company in Canal Fulton for a couple of years before I came to work here at Mass Trucking. So my background is in agriculture. I was born and raised on a farm, and I've worked in and around farms and cows virtually all my life until I came here to Mass. So that's pretty much short story of what I've done before I came here.
Yeah, good. That's good stuff. Brandon, what about you?
I spent about 8 years previously at UPS in various roles. The most recent role at UPS was a dispatch manager, supervisor for the drivers out of the Canton Center on Navarre Road. I had about 30 to 40 routes I would plan daily. Their deliveries and pickups that they had to do. But that was the most recent. Everything I did at UPS was within operations, whether it be within the load or the unload, or everything management wise was within operations planning.
Nice. So that probably translated well. When did you start here with us? I can't quite remember.
I started 1st of February, I believe.
Okay, cool. Nice. So you guys started beginning of February, beginning of March. And so Brandon, you probably had a little bit of a leg up. You got a little bit more office time than Scott did, but shortly after you guys started, we turned everything on its head and had to start working remotely because of everything that was happening with the coronavirus. Tell us a little bit about your experience on having to work from home and adjust that quickly and learn on the fly, and just how your experience is going. Brandon, I'll ask you first.
Some mistakes have definitely been made on my part, but I would say for the better learning process of being forced to make decisions that I probably would not have had to make if we were in an office setting, kind of sped along, I would say, the decision-making process for me, I guess. Just at first, at the beginning, I was very hesitant. I was kind of, still worried about mistakes or this or that, but it was, I knew mistakes were going to be made and we just need to discuss later. At this point, things needed to happen. But yeah, it definitely, at first was a big problem or big worry for me, but it has definitely turned into a positive, I believe, in my growth here so far.
Absolutely. Scott, what about you? Obviously, we've got to have quite a few conversations over the last several weeks, but Scott, what about you?
Yeah, well, I spent a whole grand total of 2 weeks in the office before COVID hit, and then I had to start working from home. So I kind of was just starting to get in a routine there, and everything changed. So I've been trying my best to not make this seem like this is my new normal, because it's going to at some point change again. But I would say I would have to concur with Brandon that this has forced me to kind of jump in and do this job, completely by myself, right from the get-go. I will say that I think our communication within the recruiting and the training department through this time has been outstanding. I've never felt like I've been left hanging and no questions unanswered or anything like that. I guess I'd say I've been very surprised and pleasantly so at how well it's went, how smooth it's went. I don't know that my family would like it if I just did this all the time, but there are some advantages to it. I will say that, but I do miss being at the headquarters building. So I think I'll be looking forward to that when it happens again.
Yeah, there's definitely some pros to working remotely, but I'm a people person and I miss my people. So, okay. So last question here. I want to know what you are most looking forward to when quarantine is over. Brandon, how about you go first?
Well, if I choose to let my hair grow out, maybe getting a haircut at a regular barbershop. That's one thing I'd be looking forward to.
Yeah.
I just got my third COVID haircut last night, and I'm not too thrilled with it. And I don't feel like sitting in line or waiting in line online for a haircut place, but that would be one thing. I guess another thing just personal, just going to church, seeing friends and family again instead of just kind of being to ourselves, getting out and getting about again with our community. But then also just the people I work with. I enjoyed the people I worked with for the 6 weeks I was there. Kind of by myself in the corner basement, I get lonely. So that's one thing I'm looking forward to as well.
What about you?
Yeah, I would say mostly I'm looking forward to getting back to seeing everybody at work again, and trying to actually get to know people. And I didn't really get a good chance to do much of that. So I'm looking forward to that. I've been kind of fortunate during this quarantine that I have been able to go to church. I'm part of the ministry team at our church, so I have to do singing and I have to do, some song leading and things like that. So even though we were doing our services online, and there wasn't anybody in the church except for the ministry team, that part of it has not been a huge adjustment. But I'm looking forward to things getting back to normal. If you want to go to a restaurant, I can go to a restaurant. If I want to, go somewhere, go shopping, do this, do that, and the other thing. I want normalcy to return.
Same here. So, all right, gentlemen, thank you guys so much. You guys were great. I appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yep. Thanks, Coach.